Hello, everyone. Welcome to Laser Tech Tuesdays at 2. I'm Jaye Cottrill, the Global Marketing Communications Manager here. Every Tuesday around 2 p.m. Mountain Time, we go live and discuss solutions in traffic safety and professional measurement. You can join us on your coffee break. We are live for about 15 minutes. Let us know what you think. Comments on this video will be answered, and we might use your questions as the subject of another Facebook Live, so definitely let us know what's going through your head. Today, I'm talking with Tamara Whitaker from McClure and our very own Steve Colburn. Tamara and Steve, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon.
Welcome, Jay.
Yeah, you're welcome. Tamara, how long have you been with McClure? What are your responsibilities? Can you go ahead and just introduce yourself?
Yeah, I am the Technical Services Manager for McClure Incorporated. I have been with the company about 7 years, and I manage the equipment and software and do software development and training for our customers on the equipment side, as well as do technical services for our explosives services business.
So what is your official title with the company then?
Technical Services Manager.
Okay, right. And Steve, could you just introduce yourself?
Sure. I've been with Laser Tech. This will be my 29th year anniversary coming up this summer. So I've been involved with our blasting industry for a long time that Tamara comes out of. And like her, I'm kind of involved in technical training and stuff with the company. I know a lot of the professional measurement products real well and markets and handle all the training and so forth.
So I know that Laser Tech and McClure have worked together for quite a long time. Can either of you tell me how long that working together partnership has been?
Yeah, sure. We started a partnership with Laser Technology in 2010, right about there, and started with when they had the Impulse 200 laser and the profilers for 2D blast design.
Right. I've been going to the ISEE annual blasting show Laser Tech has for over 20 years, and I've been to that show a bunch, and remember seeing Tamara's company there for quite a while. So it's great to be working with them.
Right. So yeah, that's great to find them in that trade show and really develop that relationship over the years. Tomorrow, Tamara, you are co-hosting a webinar with us. What can people expect to hear or learn during this webinar?
So, McClure's been in the explosives industry now since about 1995, and with that, we look for different equipment that can help alleviate the safety concerns when doing blast design. So tomorrow we're going to talk about some of the tools that we have on the 2D blast design and the face profiler system that help reduce the potential for fly rock or air over pressure, improve safety, but also help optimize the blast.
Okay.
Right. And we're gonna cover our face profiler solution then, which is a mobile app we have written to collect all the measurements from the different lasers and allow input of all the different parameters that the blasters need to use, and then provide some calculation and some results for them right there in the field so they can print them out or act on those measurements right then.
And Tamara, you have extensive experience with the Face Profiler app. Does it work as well as we think it does?
Yeah, and it improves all the time. That's the nice thing about working with you guys is you take the feedback from us, from our customers, actual system users, and improve the software and add the additional features to it. So it's one of the benefits of working with the company that directly develops the software is you've got the customer feedback in the field, is you've got that ability to do continuous improvement on the software, and the customers are more satisfied with the system itself because of that.
I know we really enjoy getting the feedback that you give us, so we'll just keep that going.
Right?
Can you tell me about some of the other tools that are used to create blast designs?
So today, with the technology that's available, we're seeing a lot more three-dimensional design as a secondary option, or sometimes as the first option, with the 2D blast design as checking. Most all blasters have those out in the field now using the 2D system. And then they've got the 3D photogrammetry or 3D laser systems that they can use. We're using drones in the field coupled with GPS systems to improve and ensure accuracy for blast design as well. So there's a lot of great technology out there, and it's kind of a fun time to be in the industry when it comes to the technology side, with everything everyone's picking up and using to improve safety, but also help optimize their blast patterns.
Right, yeah.
Don't you also, isn't there a tool that they send down the hole to, Tamara? Because we're comparing the face to a drill hole, and drill holes aren't always straight, so there's a tool that they send down the hole, right, that maps it out and for deviation and stuff?
Yeah, there's a couple of different tools that we use. We've got one, it's the generic borehole deviation measurement. So you drop a probe down the hole and it measures its deviation side to side or forward to backwards, the inclination of the hole, to ensure that in case you get some wander of the borehole, which then changes the location and changes the burdens. And then they have what we also use, borehole cameras, to identify seams and cavities to that effect, that we can help also integrate to avoid loading too many explosives into a particular part of the borehole as well.
All right.
Wow. It's really fascinating to know all the tools and technology that you use in creating blasts. What things do you want people to watch out for?
The biggest thing is making sure you're taking your measurements correctly. With any tool in the field, if you're not using it properly or not using it set up properly, you can get inaccurate readings. So the importance is being trained properly on how to use it, and then using that tool in the appropriate way to ensure that you're getting the best readings and results.
Right, and first and foremost, we want them to profile the face, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, just can't let that go. You can't guess that, and or use really primitive methods which are really inaccurate. So, yeah, we definitely want them to do that. And then if they have bad geology, look at the whole deviation equipment and stuff. Yeah.
So, I'll start with you on this one, Steve. As support and training for laser tech, are there frequently asked questions from this industry that you encounter?
I would say one of the things that's questioned when we're going through our solution is the toe shot. The crest is fairly well defined usually. I mean, sometimes it can be rounded, or sloping, so you kind of have to make a call where it is. But the crest is usually pretty well defined. The toe shot can be tricky. Sometimes if there's a lot of rubble at the bottom of the face, they can shoot too high there. And they're not careful about where they want to carry their floor elevation to. So we've added in, tying in a good floor elevation shot so that the user can really get a good view of where that toe is in relation to it to get that elevation right. That's all corresponds to the bench height that's calculated, which is really the crux of the whole thing. So that's usually where questions come up.
How about you, Tamara? What do you hear when you're out in the field?
The big one's proper setup and making sure that they are taking their readings accurately. We run across a lot of people that like to use the lasers handheld, and we really highly recommend or only recommend using a tripod for that to ensure accuracy and that you're level so that you're getting good quality 2D profiles. Additionally, with the floor shots, one of the easiest ways to maintain floor grade with just a single tool like this is having that floor shot to ensure you're getting the proper depth on the boreholes, so you're putting enough explosives into the borehole to use and have enough energy to then move the material out and break it up properly. It helps optimize the blast design that way.
So typically, which one of our lasers do you use the most?
I have a couple, but the True Pulse 200X is the one I use the most. It's the most versatile as far as the tools go. It gives me the ability to help maintain floor grades, but measure inclinations, bench heights, distances, changes in elevation. So it's got a lot of features that allow me to do pretty much everything I need to do out in the field.
Right, and it's our most accurate handheld pulse lathe right now too. It's got the highest distance accuracy, inclination. It's good and ruggedized and stuff, which is so important in that industry. Yeah,
Definitely.
Have you ever combined it with our True Angle to do 3D measurements as well, or do you just keep it with 2D?
So most commonly we're using it with the 2D. I have used it with the True Angle for mapping volumes of stockpiles or doing some other measurements, but most commonly what we're using it for is the 2D application.
Okay. Now, we're presenting the webinar tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Can they still register for the webinar?
Yes, they can still register for the webinar. We encourage you to register for the webinar.
If you do want to register for the webinar and learn more about blast design, you can navigate to go.lasertech.com/blast21. We'll drop the link down in the comments as well, so you can just click on it and go. And Tamara, we're just about to the end of our interview, which I'm sad because it's been fun. But this is one of the tough questions. I know that you travel a lot, and I have found that different regions have certain foods that are specific to that region. What is your favorite dish and why?
Favorite dish? Oh, there's so many, but I have to say I've been with the travel not as much recently. I've been missing my trips down to South Africa. They have I will call it a beef jerky. It's called Biltong, and they do it out of all the different wild game out there, and it's got such great flavor, and it's just a little bit different than what you get here in the U.S., and I kind of miss that a little bit. So,
how about you, Steve?
Oh, I don't know about favorite. That'd be too tough. One of the most interesting dishes is the good old fish head soup over in Malaysia. That's always interesting. Don't you partake of the entire dish, but it's got good flavor. Good flavor.
Okay, good flavor. That's one of my favorites. I grew up in upstate New York, and so my favorite dish is one that's local to there, and it's called Speedies, which is basically shish kebabs without all the veggies, and you eat it in a submarine roll or a hoagie roll. And we have there's a Speedy Fest every year, and they do a lot of things with that. So that would be my favorite, I would say.
Sounds good.
It is really good. I'll make you sometime when we're back in the office. Well, Tamara and Steve, thank you so much for taking the time to join me live today. Is there anything that we have forgotten to touch on?
I don't think so. Join us for the webinar tomorrow.
Yeah.
Come hear more about it tomorrow.
Hey, Tamara, how can people get in touch with R.A. McClure if they have questions for you directly?
If they have questions for me directly, they can go to our website, either ramets.com, that's ramets.com, or they can email us at info@ramets.com. And then they can email me directly, and we can share that contact information as well.
Thank you. And I want to thank everyone who joined us live today. If you would like to be alerted about upcoming Tuesday at 2 events, click the like button and follow LaserTech's page on Facebook. And we'll see you next week on January 19th. So until then, everyone, measure smart and measure safe.